The first thing to check when your machine arrives is the bowl hasn't been destabilized. This bowl is in properly now. Sometimes it can be moved in transit. So the first thing to do is check your bowl is okay. So if it's in that position, the bowl is not sat properly. So please check that the bowl is in properly. If it's not, just need to push back until it's clicked in and it's in properly. Onto the controls of the machine. This is the power switch. Switches the machine on. This button controls the right panel, and you want this to be in a number 2 position. So number 2 position, down, is in slush mode. 0 position turns the paddle off. Number 1 position puts the product into chill mode, which you put on overnight. This is the light switch. You just want to knock that off in the night. On this side, you've got just one button. Number 2, slush mode. Number 1, chill mode. It's really, really important not to switch the power off on the machine if you're going to put it back on in the morning. If you do this, you'll have a build-up of ice on the top. When you switch the machine back on, the ice will be dragged in and you can damage the motor or the paddles. So it's really, really important if you're running it for a length of time, or it's a permanent fixture in a shop, for instance. You put this button on to number 1 to chill, this one onto number 1 to chill, and when you come in the morning, you put the 2 down onto slush. That's really, really important. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is show you how to clean the taps. So simply, when the machine's been flushed through with hot water and there's nothing in the machine, all you need to do is pull this pin out. This handle pops up and you can clean this. Once you've cleaned it, you need to put Vaseline, which we've provided with the machine, on the top and the bottom. When you put it back in, you just need to pull back the spring, locate the hole and put the pin back in. Really, really simple. So how to take the lids off the machine? Just push the button in. There's one at the back as well. Sometimes you don't need to do that. And the lid comes off like so. So if you need to get into the bowl to clean the machine, all you need to do is apply a little bit of pressure so you dislodge the bowl. Make sure not to rip it up or you'll snap the feet off. So push back, and then just lift up. That bowl then comes off. Pull that bowl off as such. You'll then come across the auger. Now this is magnetic, so when you go to pull it, it feels like there's a resistance. Don't be scared, just give it a little nudge and it'll just pull out. This goes in 2 pieces and interlocks. If you see that, that's interlocking. Then you've got the back seal that can be pulled off. This can be cleaned. Once you've cleaned it and everything's tidy, put it back on, just push around. And if you double check, really, really important, or that it doesn't leak from the seal, just make sure it's on properly. You then place Vaseline inside here. And while you put it back in, watch your fingers, do it slowly, and then that's linked in. Okay, make sure this is all interlocked and it's not in that position. That's not in properly. Interlocked. The next thing to do is put the bowl back on. Now, a little tip of mine is to put a tiny little bit of Vaseline inside here. The Vaseline we've provided. And you put the bowl on. Sometimes can be difficult, but if you've put that little bit of Vaseline, it'll slide on okay. So push it until the feet are interlocked. And that will do that for you. Put the lid back on. The other thing that can happen on a slush machine is the condenser or the filter blocks up. Now, it's really, really simple. There's a filter in the side of the machine. All you need to do is undo these thumb screws. take this panel off. This will only need to be done maybe once every month or two, depending on your environment. So you take these, you take the left-hand panel off. You'll see a filter in there. Run a couple of inches of water in the sink. Drop the filter in, and all the dust will come off it. You then pull that, shake it, and it can go back in the machine even though it's wet. It can go in on the condenser, no problem. Put the panel back on, and that's completed. Don't forget to empty the drip trays on a regular basis. If you have any questions, please give us a call or email us info@celticfrozendrinks.co.uk. One other thing that this machine has is a timer, so you can set the timer for the slush mode to kick in the morning, and then for the chill mode to come on. I'm going to show you how to do the timer now. So at the moment, all the pins are in. If you see all these white pins in, it means it's in manual. So the buttons I showed you earlier will switch it to chill and slush. If you want to set the timer, that little arrow over there needs to be matched up with the time now. So for example, it is now 2 p.m. So 24-hour clock. Forget this dial, just concentrate on that little arrow. That's pointing to 14, it's 2 o'clock. So at 9 o'clock we want it to go on to chill. So 21 hours it goes on to chill. So we take the pins out. When the pins are out, it's on chill mode. So if you put all these pins out, it'll be on chill mode permanently, so be careful. So we want the product to come on to slush at 7 in the morning. There's the number 7. So if it makes sense, you got slush at 7, it's on slush all day. 9 o'clock in the night it goes on to chill, and then it chills down till 7 and comes back on. This will rotate like a timer, like your central heating. The most important thing to remember is the time now. So if you've not used the machine for a while and you want to use it again, make sure you set the right time, otherwise it'll be slushing in the night and chilling in the day. So that's really important. If you're not interested in the timer and you want to do everything manually, I always set everything up manually initially, all in, and that's when you use your number 2 down and number 1 for chill. So when the timer's set, if you leave everything in slush mode, all the buttons down, it'll automatically just go on to chill mode. So you still see the rotation, but overnight the product will defrost, and then it'll come back on before ready for the shop to open. I think that's about it. Any more questions, please drop us an email. Thank you.